Out here in the wild, danger is a constant companion. But it's not just out here, is it? The world can turn on a dime. One minute you're grabbing groceries, the next the shelves are empty, and the power's out. Welcome to Last Stand Prep, where we face those realities head on. We're about to dive into the 10 must-have survival items. The things that could be the only thing between you and, well, let's just say things can get pretty hairy. These essentials, trust me, could be the difference between life and death. Stick with me, because number 10, well, let's just say it might surprise you. Right, first up, the big one, water. Out in the wilderness, I've learned that the hard way. You can last weeks without food, but water? 3 days max, and that's if you're lucky. Dehydration sets in fast, and believe me, it's not a pretty sight. That's why a top-notch water filtration system is non-negotiable. I'm talking about something like this Life Straw, a real game changer. This little beauty lets you drink directly from rivers, lakes, even puddles if you have to. Think about that, turning even the murkiest water into a source of life. But remember, even the best gear can fail. That's why I always have backup water purification tablets tucked away. Second on the list, and just as critical, is your first aid kit. Look, accidents happen, especially in a crisis. A simple cut can turn nasty, even deadly if it gets infected. You need to be your own first responder. I'm talking about a compact, waterproof kit, packed with the essentials. Wound care is a must: bandages, antiseptic wipes, antibiotic ointment, pain relievers too, because pain can cloud your judgment when you need it sharpest. And don't forget tweezers for those pesky splinters and ticks. Oh, and a vital point: personal medications. If you rely on daily medication, make sure you have at least a week's supply in your kit. Trust me, your future self will thank you. A mirror can be used for signaling, reflecting light, even checking for injuries in hard-to-see places. Number 3 on our list is a true survival essential, the multi-tool. This compact, versatile device is a must-have for anyone venturing into the great outdoors. This isn't just some fancy gadget, it's your trusty sidekick, your go-to problem solver in the wild. Whether you're deep in the forest or high up in the mountains, a multi-tool can be a lifesaver. Out here, I've used my multi-tool for everything from building shelters to starting fires to, well, opening a stubborn can of beans. It's amazing how one tool can handle so many tasks. Look for one with a good sturdy blade, a saw, pliers, a screwdriver, the works. The more functions it has, the better prepared you'll be for any situation. Think of it as a Swiss Army knife on steroids. It's designed to handle tougher jobs and more demanding tasks. You never know when you'll need to fix something, cut something, or even defend yourself. In a pinch, a multi-tool can be your best friend. Having a multi-tool within arm's reach gives you that edge, that confidence to tackle whatever comes your way. It's like having a toolbox in your pocket. My only shelter was a makeshift lean-to, held together by, you guessed it, my trusty multi-tool. Without it, I would have been exposed to the elements. It's not just about the tool itself, it's about the ingenuity it represents, the ability to adapt and overcome. With a multi-tool, you're ready for anything nature throws at you. Fueling the machine emergency food supply. We've tackled water, first aid, and tools. Now let's talk about the fuel that keeps you going. Food. When disaster strikes, your body needs calories to stay strong, to think clearly, to survive. We're talking about a strategic emergency food supply, packed with nutrition and longevity. Think freeze-dried meals, energy bars, canned goods, things that are lightweight, compact, and can last for years. Don't forget about flavor though. A little morale boost goes a long way in a crisis. Throw in some coffee, some chocolate, something that reminds you of home. Rotate your stock every 6 months, check expiration dates, and make sure you have enough to last you and your loved ones for at least 2 weeks. Because when your stomach is growling, it's hard to focus on anything else. Beating the darkness, flashlight, and batteries. When the grid goes down, and believe me it will, you don't want to be fumbling around in the dark. That's where a reliable flashlight becomes your lifeline. I'm talking about a high-lumen LED flashlight, the kind that can illuminate a whole room, or even signal for help if you need it. And don't skimp on the batteries. Keep a stash of fresh ones in your kit, because the last thing you want is for your light to die on you at the worst possible moment. I'm a big fan of rechargeable flashlights. Invest in a solar charger or a hand crank charger as well. Light isn't just about seeing, it's about feeling safe, about maintaining a sense of normalcy in a chaotic situation. The art of fire starter? Fire. It's primal, it's essential, and in a survival situation it can be the difference between a cold night and a hot meal. Fire is one of the most fundamental elements of survival, providing not just warmth but also a means to cook food, purify water, and even signal for help. But starting a fire, a real fire, not just a flickering flame, that's a skill. It requires knowledge, patience, and the right tools. And like any skill, it takes practice. You need to understand the materials you're working with, the environment you're in, and the techniques that work best. I'm not talking about rubbing two sticks together. While that's a useful skill to have, in a real pinch, you want something reliable, something foolproof. While that's a useful skill to have, in a real pinch, you want something reliable, something foolproof. Modern fire starters are designed to be dependable, even in less than ideal conditions. That's why a good fire starter is an absolute must-have in your kit. It's not just about having one tool, but a variety of options to ensure you can get a fire going no matter what. I'm talking about waterproof matches, which can light even when wet, a ferro rod, which can produce sparks in any weather, a lighter, which is quick and easy to use, even some fire starter tinder, which catches fire easily and burns long enough to ignite larger pieces of wood. These are the tools that will get your fire going, even in damp conditions. They are designed to work when you need them the most, providing you with the security of knowing you can always start a fire. But remember, a fire starter is only as good as the person using it. Practice with your tools, understand their strengths and limitations, and you'll be prepared for any situation. Because fire isn't just about warmth, it's about cooking, purifying water, signaling for help. It's a lifeline in the wilderness, a beacon of hope, and a crucial element of survival. Shelter from the storm emergency shelter. Out in the elements, shelter is everything. It's the difference between a good night's sleep and a night spent shivering in the cold. And trust me, hypothermia can set in faster than you think. We're talking about lightweight, packable shelter that you can easily carry in your bug-out bag. Something like an emergency bivvy, a tarp, or even a large garbage bag can provide life-saving protection from the elements. A bivvy bag is basically a waterproof, windproof cocoon that traps your body heat. Combine that with a tarp strung up between some trees, you've got yourself a makeshift shelter that can withstand even the nastiest storms. Shelter isn't just about comfort, it's about survival. It's about creating a safe haven where you can rest, recover, and plan your next move. In a disaster, information is power. Knowing what's happening, where to go, and how to get help can be the difference between life and death. But what happens when your phone's dead and the cell towers are down? That's where a reliable communication device comes in. I'm talking about a hand-crank weather radio, a satellite messenger, or even a ham radio if you're feeling ambitious. These devices can receive crucial information from the outside world, even when all other forms of communication have failed. A weather radio can warn you about approaching storms, floods, or other natural disasters, giving you valuable time to seek shelter. A satellite messenger allows you to send and receive text messages from anywhere in the world, even without cell service. Now, this wouldn't be a true survival guide without mentioning a good solid survival knife. A survival knife is an essential tool for anyone venturing into the wild. It's not just about having a blade, it's about having a reliable companion that can help you tackle the challenges of the wilderness. And I'm not talking about some flimsy pocket knife. Those might be handy for small tasks, but they won't cut it when you're in a survival situation. I'm talking about a fixed blade knife, something you can rely on when the going gets tough. Fixed blade knives are known for their strength and durability, making them ideal for heavy-duty tasks. A survival knife is more than just a blade, it's a versatile tool that can be used in countless ways. It's a tool, a weapon, and a symbol of self-reliance. With a good survival knife, you can handle almost any situation that comes your way. It can be used for everything from cutting firewood to building shelter to preparing food to, yes, even defending yourself if you have to. The versatility of a survival knife makes it an indispensable part of your gear. When choosing a survival knife, look for something durable with a full tang construction, meaning the blade extends all the way through the handle. This design ensures maximum strength and stability. You want a blade that can withstand heavy use, that won't break on you when you need it most. A reliable knife can make the difference between life and death in critical situations, because out here your knife can be your best friend, and it's always there to lend a helping hand. Trust in your survival knife and it will serve you well in the wild. Now, we've covered a lot of ground here, from water filtration to fire starting to shelter building. But the most important survival tool you can have, the one thing that can't be bought or traded, is knowledge. You see, all the gear in the world won't help you if you don't know how to use it. That's why I believe that investing in your survival skills is just as important as investing in your gear. Take a wilderness survival course. Learn how to navigate with a map and compass. Practice your fire starting skills. Learn basic first aid. The more you know, the more confident you'll be when faced with a challenge. Because out here, your mind is your most powerful weapon. So, there you have it. 10 must-have items for every prepper. We've covered the essentials, the tools that can make the difference between making it out and, well, but remember, it's not about being paranoid, it's about being prepared. It's about taking responsibility for your safety, for the safety of your loved ones. Because out here in the wild, in the concrete jungle, in the face of whatever comes next, being prepared is the ultimate survival advantage. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more prepping tips, and let me know in the comments. What's in your top 10? Let's share our knowledge, build our skills, and face the future together.